As mammals, food is necessary for our survival. We have to eat to live. In our society, 3 meals a day is pretty average. But are we eating real food? Genetically modified foods are becoming increasingly common around the world, and especially in our society. Some would argue, especially corporations, that these foods are more cost-effective and easier to produce. And they're just a part of the developing agriculture and biotechnology. However, the corporate dictatorship, the well-being of small farmers, the rise of monoculture, and the health side effects resulting from the GMO movement are being ignored as we move into a new period of bioengineering. So what is a GMO? GMO stands for genetically modified organism. This happens when you take the genes from one organism and you insert them into the seeds or genetic material of another organism. This is becoming increasingly common as people want to take traits from one organism and put them into another. This is happening especially in the corporate food movement, as corporations are looking for ways to make their foods, their products better. And the Monsanto company is a big culprit in this, as they're the ones who created the Roundup pesticide. And they also created a soybean that was resistant to this pesticide, meaning you could spray as much of the pesticide on it as you wanted and the plant would not die. So they then patented the seed that they created, meaning that farmers who were used to saving seeds from year to year had to rebuy the seeds every year. Not because the plant did not reproduce fertile seeds, but because the patent stated that farmers could not save seeds. This created an unexpected expense for farmers who were used to being able to reuse seeds from year to year. Farmers that were caught seed saving these seeds from year to year were sued by Monsanto for patent infringement, and a lot of them lost their farms. Other farmers who faced prosecution by Monsanto company are the ones who were not necessarily seed saving or weren't even using the product. Farmers who were close by to farmers using the Monsanto product found that their conventional or non-genetically modified plants were cross-pollinating with these genetically modified plants. This produced a Roundup-resistant soybean, and then these farmers were also sued for patent infringement because they had not paid for the product. However, their plants turned out to have the gene. Monsanto soybeans are not the only case of patent issues that are jeopardizing farmers. As genetically modified foods become more popular, a lot of companies are starting to patent these new products that they're developing. And farmers are struggling to keep up because they're having to purchase all of this new technology, and they either are constantly purchasing or their product can't compare to the new and upcoming technology. Large corporations are constantly putting small farmers out of business by controlling the availability of seeds and for suing farmers who are and accusing them of patent infringement, as well as the fact that the government is supporting large corporations by subsidizing them, which means that for staple crops such as corn, soy, potatoes, etc., the government is paying large corporations to sell these products to consumers for cheaper and making up the difference. Farmers can't compete with the prices of corporations because the government isn't subsidizing them, which means that consumers are obviously going to go for the cheaper product unless they are aware of the fact that these products are genetically modified and possibly harmful. Genetically modified crops are also increasing a movement in our culture called monoculture. This means that our society eats basically one food. And this is made possible by the genetically modified food movement, as it makes it possible to grow crops year-round because they are weather-resistant, drought-resistant, and they are more hardy crops. And the monoculture movement means that the variety of foods in our society is very limited. This entices farmers to grow the cheapest, easiest crops to grow. This crop in our society is corn, because it's cheap, it's easy to grow, and it's genetically modified. Everything in our society has corn in it. If you look at a label, it most likely has a corn product in it somewhere. And genetically modified foods have made this possible by making it easy to grow this crop year-round. And this is a problem because our bodies need more than one nutrient, or they need a variety of different nutrients that monoculture takes away from us. And we grow and eat this crop because it's easy and cheap, but we forget that it's unhealthy along the way. Genetically modified foods also, it means they're altering the genetic makeup of an organism. And this can be dangerous to consumers because we don't know how it is affected, how healthy it is for us to consume. So if we took a gene from a tomato and we added it to your genetic makeup, it could have some side effects. You could turn red, you could grow vines, or you could just get really sick. You don't know how an organism is going to respond if you mess with its genetic makeup. Rats that were fed genetically modified corn showed signs of tumors, cancers, and other health issues. This means that genetically modified foods could have the same effect on humans. So these foods should probably be tested more and researched more thoroughly before given to humans to be consumed. More pesticides can be used on genetically modified foods because they're being created as pesticide resistant, meaning that more pesticides can be sprayed all over them, and that means you're consuming more pesticides when you eat these foods. A lot of these chemicals could be harmful to the health, and we don't necessarily know the long-term side effects as more and more pesticides are being produced. So, genetically modified foods are not worth the risk. As corporations may benefit some from the cheaper cost and the patent rewards off of suing farmers, our farmers' well-being, the available of healthy and a variety of foods, and our society's health are all at stake if we let the biotechnology movement intrude in such a vital part of our everyday lives.